Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview September 24th, 2014 on a Wednesday, midway through our trading week. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, great to be with you, coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Bright blue sunny skies, blue water, and white sandy beaches. It is absolutely a beauty out there today, I have to tell you the truth. All right, traders, let's move along. And if you would, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday, and I'm your moderator every single day for the market opening preview that is put up before the London Open. And I also do the Friday wrap-up, which is done after the Friday New York close, and that is also put up so you have a YouTube to watch over the weekend. And we look at about 15 daily charts, and we basically take a look at what happened the week before and what we could look for the next week. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006. Traders, in 2008, I retired from a great career as a public safety officer in the great state of Florida. After I retired, 9 days later, I was on the big Thai Airways airplane, came over to Thailand for a 3-month holiday. Well, traders, today I'm still here, and I'm loving life in Thailand. And as a trader, the time zone is great. I can trade Asia, I can trade London, I can trade about the first 3 hours of New York and still get a good night's sleep. I love what I do, and I really enjoy chatting with you every single day. All right, this is our risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Don't trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's take a look at news and commentary. All right, traders, I did a live trading room this morning in Asia, and it was absolutely slow. No data came out in Asia. We had some very little news come. We had the RBA Financial Stability Review, didn't move the charts at all. So very quiet in Asia, not going on, nothing happening. In the European session, we have German IFO Business Climate Index, which is the big one, and we expect hopefully to get some market movement out of that. And as we go through our day, it is pretty quiet, I have to tell you, traders, until we get into the New York session, where we have new home sales that comes out, and that is a high impact news event. So always keep your economic calendar around so you don't get stymied with these. There's a lot of news coming out also that's medium impact. Just take a look at it and make sure if it's going to affect the trading pair that you're in, that you protect yourself. Well, traders, I have to tell you, both on the U.S. side and the European side, the markets did absolutely horrible yesterday, with the Dow 30 closing at negative 0.68%. The S&P 500 closed at negative 0.58%, with the NASDAQ 100 closing at 0.24%. Moving over to the Europe side of the world, the DAX closed it down negative 0.158%. The FTSE 100 negative 1.44%, and the CAC 40 down 1.87%. Traders, let's head over to Asia and let's take a look at the markets that are currently trading. The Nikkei 225 is down at 0.29%, with the S&P ASX 200 out of Sydney, Australia, is down 0.76%. The Shanghai is up at 0.17%, and the Hang Seng is up also at 0.13%, and the Kospi is up barely, just at 0.10%. So that's a basic update on what's going on with the numbers that happened overnight and also what is going on now. So just keep an eye on that, my friends. All right, let us go over and check. Oh, let's give a little commentary. Commentary time. All right. Traders, the dollar is very, very, very strong. You must keep that in the back of your mind when you're making trades. If you do not have a dollar index chart on your platform, go to the dollar yen. They're almost identical. If you put a dollar yen chart or a dollar index chart next to each other, they're almost identical. So if you don't have a dollar index chart, you can always use the dollar yen chart. Did have some trades yesterday. Charts looked pretty ugly today. I mean, we're gonna go over 6 different currency pairs, but not very pretty. I have to be honest with you. The positive part is that they did stay, most of them, within the trend. Some of them, what happened was basically pulled out of the trend, and then in New York continued the trend. And if you were able to stay, and if you have entered into the trade, just kept it, you probably did okay. But for myself, I only do about the first 2.5 hours of New York. That's bringing me to about 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock at night, and I'm done for the day, as my day starts at 5:30 in the morning. All right, let's head over to the 60-minute Forex charts. Here we go. Euro dollar. It is in a downtrend. We just want to look at the support this is at. Look at left of the chart here, the support that this pair is at. This is really just unbelievable. So we want to take this down. We want this to pull back. I don't think it's going to pull back all the way up to the 38.2. But if it gets up to that 50%, I think we'd be okay. Even the 618 would be all right. If you can, just want to make sure you got 20 pips that you can get in there so you can get break even and put a couple of pips in the pip basket. And I think you'll be fine. Remember, the dollar is strong and there is no good data out of the Eurozone. I don't know how many of you listened to Draghi's speech. I didn't listen to it. I was actually listening to it on Trade the News, my news data feed, and I will tell you that I don't think they said one thing that he said that was positive out of the Eurozone. So we're expecting that probably within the next 6 months, the Euro is going to start printing some money, basically doing what the United States did 4 years ago, which is called quantitative easing. All right, let's head over to the pound. Pound, pretty funky, really. It's above the 200 EMA, so I'm going to stay with the bias that we're going to buy this. I'd like to really see this pop back down a couple of notches, and do it that way. I'm not really liking that this is so far to the, in this range that it's in, and then we're going to pop up to here to the 618, which is resistance, which I don't think is going to be a problem. If you look left of the chart, there's really not a lot of reaction to that price level, so I think we'll be all right. But I'd like to really see this pull down exactly to the 382 and then just pop on up there. So we're looking at like 63.83. If we can get down to like 63.75 or 79, boy, wouldn't that be great? And we can just take that straight up. And you can see where our stop is. It is a big stop. But if you look at where our take profit is at 64.97, we have, more than a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio, which doesn't really mean that much, to be honest with you. But, however, this does look like a nice trade. But at the moment, as long as we're above the 200, and we just are above the 200 on the daily chart, so we're just going to stay with it and see how she rides out. Over to the Aussie dollar, 60-minute. Yeah, I put it on the chart there because I didn't realize that my fib level actually covered up where it said Aussie dollar. That's pretty funny. Anyhow, we're looking to take this to the downside. Take a look at a daily chart on the Aussie. This thing is so bearish. It is really unbelievable. We need a good pullback. We can't do a 3.6 pullback on this one, my friends. This has got to come up to the 38.2 at 89.05 or 8900, and then we're going to take this back down to the downside. But this has got to give us a pullback. We sure do not want to sell this here. Look left of the chart from the current candle. It has reacted to this price point 3 times and could not break through it. So we need to make sure we can get into this trade and get break even before we get down to this area, just in case it decides to bounce. We want to make sure we're safe. And yes, the stop is also pretty big. It's above that 61.8 fib level. All right, moving along. This is the Euro Aussie, and it's not on the chart, but yes, it is the Euro Aussie. Wow, half the chart's cut off. What happened there? I just realized there's no numbers on this chart. Okay, but the plan is here. Basically, it's at resistance, my friends, and what we want to do is we want to take this up. So we're just waiting for the pullback. You can see I placed a range in here. I really don't want to play the range game in this here. I want this to break out. This is going to break out to the downside, give us a fib. I'd like to see it go down to that 50% fib. If you look left of the chart, there's a lot of price action that's responding to that price level, and we want to take this to the upside. Traders, this is the Euro Yen. This looks like a nice trade. Just needed to give us an upbeat here. We want to take this to the upside. It's in a sweet position now, but I don't like all that's going on left of the chart, and that's why I put an entry at 140.09, i.e. I want to make sure we pass the 140.00 psychological level area, and we get a close above that before we enter this to go long. At that point, we're going up to 141.09, and this could be a 100-pip trade. Without a doubt, at least 50 pips up to the 6-1.8. So this is a nice trade plan on this euro yen. The only thing is, I'm very skeptical about the yen pairs right now. I think something's going to happen. They're going to do something, some intervention. They're going to do something. Kuroda is speaking like every day he's talking. So we need to keep an eye out on that. And our last pair of the day is one of my favorites, and that is the New Zealand dollar. Folks, we're just waiting to take this to the downside. We have two options. We can take it at 38.2 fib at about 80.86. I would just take that down to 80.46. That's a nice 40-pip trade. Figure a couple of pips here, a couple of pips there, right? Yeah, you can get like 30, 35 pips out of this. And this would be a really nice trade to the downside. Stop loss isn't bad. It's just above the 618. You don't have to wait for it to hit your stop loss, by the way, to get out of the trade. If it's going against you and you know it's not working, well, get out. Right? Don't hang around in there. Get out. But if you look at the daily chart, the New Zealand dollar chart, it is really nice looking bearish chart. So we're just waiting. You could wait for this trend line to break, because I think I calculated out you got like 26 pips down to the support area down there, or 20 pips, and you can basically get break even. And you know, that's what it's all about. We want to get break even plus 3 to 5 pips. And then if the trade works, great. If it doesn't work, that's fine too. But we all want to get to the break even point, so it's a free trade. And you know, that's always been my theory, is money management is, I think, probably the most important part of trading any instrument. And I do trade, I did trade options and absolutely loved it. So I have traded other instruments before, and it all comes down to money management and how you manage your trades. And that's what it's all about. All right. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends, FXCL Excellence in Trading, I'd like to thank you for joining me on this Wednesday. We call that Hump Day in America. Coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand, bright blue sunny skies and white sandy beaches. No, I won't be going to the beach today, traders. I got too much work to do. Traders, you have a great trading day, and I'll see you tomorrow before the London Open. Traders, take care, and bye-bye.